Yo, what is going on, guys? My name is TheJackSilkstone. So, here within the UK, there's not a lot going on in terms of the theme park industry. We're kind of at that awkward stage of the year where the new stuff for summer is getting a bit old now, like people have done it. And we're not quite at the point where we'll start seeing Halloween stuff being built at the parks, although that should be coming fairly soon. I'm super excited to get back on those Fright Nights construction updates, but yeah, we're kind of at that stage where not a lot is going on. But just a few hours ago, Canada's Wonderland just dropped all of the details and videos about their brand new roller coaster. So I thought, I'm not doing a lot, I might as well have a sit down and react to and have a chat with you guys about this new coaster. So first of all, we're going to watch the official announcement video that Canada's Wonderland put out there for their new ride, which is called Yukon Striker. Let's give it a watch. So there it is, Yukon Striker. It does look like a very, very impressive ride. The biggest things that we can immediately take away from that video are the fact that it's going to be the tallest dive coaster, the fastest dive coaster, and the longest dive coaster in the world. I'm going to talk about the coaster itself in just a minute once we watch a POV. But one thing that I have noticed is the branding of the ride seems to be around this eagle. What is it with parks theming all of their dive coasters to birds? Am I the only one that's like noticing this? Obviously we have Valraven Cedar Point, which is themed to like a raven. And then obviously we had Valkyria that's just opened over at Liseberg in Europe. Not specifically themed to a bird, but they did use a bird in like the branding and stuff. And now you've obviously got Yukon Striker, which has this eagle that's used in the branding. I get why they're doing it, but like, surely I'm not the only one that's noticed that a lot of these companies are using birds in their branding for dive coasters. I don't know, just something I noticed. But yeah, let's get into the specific details of this ride. As I said, it's going to be the fastest, tallest and longest dive coaster. It's going to be going 80 miles an hour, which is a very quick ride. Like, that's comparable to Stealth within the UK, which is the fastest ride in the UK. So that's gonna be insane. 4 inversions. As I say, we're gonna look more specifically at the layout itself once we watch POV. Length, obviously, it's the longest coaster at 3,625 feet. It's a long layout. And the height, which is the bit that's amazing me, 245 feet. Wow, that is a tall coaster. I think that's including the underground section though, so it's not actually that high, that's the length of the drop. But that is still a very tall ride. Within the UK, like, I think that would be the tallest ride in the UK, let me check. The big one it says here is 213 foot. I know there is a lot of speculation about that, if it is actually that height or is, I don't know. There's a lot of discussion about the actual height of the big one, but yeah, this ride is going to be huge, and also the ride is going to last 3 minutes 25 seconds, so that is a decent amount of ride time. It is going to be a very, very impressive ride, and to give you a feel of what the ride is going to be like, the park also put out an animated POV of the ride, so we're going to give that a watch right now. So there we have the POV for this ride. As I say, it looks very impressive, but we're going to take a look at the individual elements of this ride. So we're going to start off with the main part of the ride, the drop. As you can see, it is very, very tall, isn't it? Like, it's going to be such a cool view of the park. You're literally towering above most of the other rides. It looks mad. You are going to be held at the top of this drop for apparently 3 seconds, so decent amount of time to be sitting there. Builds up the anticipation perfectly. Obviously the dive coaster and this trend of like hanging over the edge all started back with Oblivion at Alton Towers, which is a park very close to me. Oblivion is my favourite dive coaster. So yeah, back to Yukon Striker. You obviously then drop down this 245-foot drop into an underwater tunnel. Now I think this is so cool, having an underwater tunnel, like you drop into the lake. However, this is also one of my biggest pet peeves about drop and dive coasters. I've only been on 2, so I'm not exactly the most qualified person to be talking about this. I've been on Baron, 1898 and Oblivion. But the thing that blows me away about Oblivion and the thing that I love about it is the fact that you drop into the tunnel when you're still vertical. Technically it's not vertical, but you know what I mean. And yeah, with all of these other dive coasters that are being built, you drop into the tunnel when you're like leveling out. And to me, with Baron especially, it just didn't give the same effect. It didn't feel as like intense or as much of a head chopper as it does on Oblivion. So as I say, I'm not the most qualified person to be talking about this, but I do wish dive coasters like did enter the tunnel when it was more vertical. But the fact that it is dropping into an underwater tunnel, that is pretty cool. That is something that will look amazing off-ride and will be cool on-ride. So yeah, that's one of my biggest annoyances about this ride, but it is still very impressive from that height especially. So after coming out of the underwater tunnel, it then goes into its first inversion, which is this giant Immelman. I'm pretty sure this is going to be one of the tallest inversions in the world, so that's going to be incredible. We then go into like this twisted kind of zero-G roll that then goes into one of the most surprising elements of this ride that no one was really expecting, a vertical loop. Now this is an element that we've never seen on a dive coaster before. It's going to be the first time it's ever been done. And yeah, no one was really expecting it. It's not the kind of element you'd expect to see on one of these massive dive machines. It's more the kind of thing you see on smaller coasters like Gerstlauer Eurofighters and stuff, not on these massive B&M dive coasters. So yeah, bit of a strange decision. I'll definitely be interested to see what people are saying about this once they ride the ride. So yeah, we then have like a dive loop that goes into an airtime hill, and then we come to the most controversial part of the ride, which is this mid-course brake run. And when I was first watching the release video and the POV, I was thinking, right, nice, we're getting a double drop on this ride. But no, this mid-course brake run essentially just slows you down as if you're going to drop vertically again, but then you just go down into a normal drop, into an airtime hill, and into a just little helix to end the ride. For me, one of the biggest annoyances on a roller coaster is like when you know you're reaching the end of a coaster and you like recognize a certain corner or something, and you're like, right, I know from this point onwards not a lot's really going on. Like, do you know what I mean? When you hit a certain spot and you're like, oh, the ride's pretty much over at this point. Nothing exciting really happens from here on out, so you just kind of, all your excitement goes. And to me, as soon as you hit this mid-course brake run, you're going to be thinking that, and you're like, the ride's pretty much over, I just got a little helix to come. So yeah, it just seems like a very strange decision from the park, in my opinion. And yeah, after that you're into the final brake run, and that is the ride over. So yeah, it does seem like a very, very exciting coaster, and it is something that I will hopefully be able to ride within the next few years. God knows when I'll be able to ride it, because as I said, I'm from the UK, and obviously it is a long old way to get to Canada, so I don't know, one day I hope to be able to ride this ride, but we'll have to wait and see. So yeah, even though I might not be riding it for years to come, I thought I would make this little reaction video. As I say, not a lot's going on in the UK at the moment, and yeah, I would like to start bringing these reaction videos to the channel a bit more, so definitely let me know down in the comments if you want to see this kind of video when new rides are announced and stuff. And yeah, as well as that, be sure to let me know down in the comments what your opinions on Yukon Striker are. Are you lucky enough to be able to go to the park and ride it, because I'll be very jealous of you if you are. And of course, if you do enjoy theme park and roller coaster videos, then be sure to subscribe to this channel. I film vlogs from theme parks as well as news and updates and reaction videos like this. So yeah, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon to be notified every time I upload a new video. And yeah, I do hope you guys have enjoyed this video. My name is TheJackSilkstone. Goodbye.